interest rate. For what reason? For the benefit of the employee, so that they don't feel the pressure in repaying that 20,000 kwacha. So that is the purpose of this arrangement. So the micro finance institution, which is a government institution, will ensure that it will give you the terms and conditions which will be so favorable as compared to going to the bank to get a loan from the bank or other financial lending institution. So this is the process we are saying. It will take a maximum of 3 months to do the reconciliations. I owe you, you owe me. How do we reconcile? When we transact this way, do you remain owing, or are you going to clear whatever is outstanding? Or after this transaction, is it the government that will still remain owing, or is it the employee that will still remain owing? And this is the process we are saying that as it is taking place starting from July, there will be no deductions on the pay slips or from the salaries of public service employees. So that after this process, some of them will come out clean. That will be the end of the story. Kwamana, no more Nkongole. They remain super. Then those who will remain owing, then Nkongole is moved to this microfinance company for those considerations to ensure that the pressure is reduced. Then there are also those who may not be owing government, but government owes them. That is the 200 million we released initially. Remember, we said there's a roadmap for the government to deal with that aspect for the next 6 months up to December. So when we last met here, we announced the release of 200 million kwacha to be spread across the government, the various government ministries. Now we are anticipating another release. From our discussions, we are anticipating to double what was released. So this will deal with a category of those who government owes and they don't owe government. So we are saying that the direct disbursement of funds will continue in the manner that we have already agreed for the next 6 months, so that by the end of December, that particular part of the debt is also cleared, and then we come to zero, and then there will be no pressure on the employee, no pressure on the employer, and it's a win-win situation. So we thought that we could update the country through you and to clarify that these measures started, this discussion started a long time. That's why you are seeing all these union officials. It is matters that were brought to the bargaining table for consideration by the employer, and working together with the public sector unions, we have come to the end of the road with very positive news. And so it's only those who don't want to hear good things to happen to the public service workers will feel bad and will want to start punching holes in a very straightforward matter and transaction, which actually requires public applause. So I'll end here in as far as this matter is concerned, and I'll take advantage of your presence as media, since you are already here, to respond to some of the issues that are flying around in the media platforms, be they social or otherwise, to the effect that about 8 or 9 former ministers have not vacated their the government institutions. And I think there was a mention of Honorable Stephen Kampyongo, former Minister of Home Affairs, and 7 or 8 others, that these have not vacated their former ministerial houses, contrary to the guidance that was issued in the circular by Secretary to the Cabinet sometime in May. Now, the government position is that the contents of that circular have been adhered to strictly by the former ministers. And the contents, for those of you who may not be aware of the contents of that circular, Secretary to cabinet had instructed or directed that all former ministers or leaders who were occupying government houses needed to vacate those houses, I think 2 weeks after Parliament was dissolved and Cabinet dissolved. And they were also supposed to hand over all the vehicles they were using, including any other government property. It could be laptop or tablets or phone or whatever it was. And this directive by Secretary to Cabinet has been complied to in full. And in the interest of transparency, I would want to invite you colleagues from the media, if it is possible. I heard someone talk about deadlines. If it allows, if your deadlines allow, I would want you to accompany me. From here, we can go to the Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, where all the vehicles that the ministers drove are parked. And then, to just dispel that rumor that ministers have not vacated, I would want you to take. I would want to take you to the house where Honorable Kampyongo lived, so that we can go there and see whether Honorable Kampyongo is still there or he has vacated. Then we can, in the interest of transparency, then we can answer, because in that story, it was just said Honorable Kampyongo and 7 others. The others were not mentioned. But since Honorable Kampyongo was mentioned, I would want to take you to his former residence so you can see for yourself. As far as government is concerned, all former ministers have vacated the government institutions. And what is happening now is that our police officers have continued to guard those institutions 24/7. And our colleagues from Ministry of Works and Supply are going around trying to check which houses will need maintenance or rehabilitation in readiness for allocation to the incoming ministers. So that is the position. That's one. Then 2, I would want to invite you to another briefing at 16 hours at the Ministry of Health to look at the way forward in terms of the schools that are closed. You recall that this week, as we met on Tuesday, we did announce that the detailed assessment was going on to assess the position whether we need to reopen or continue with the status quo. So we'll be making the announcement at 16 hours to make a pronouncement on the status of the schools, bars, restaurants, casinos, and all those issues. Thank you very much. Back to the MC.
Thank you very much, PS. Thank you very much, PS. At this point in time, we have very few minutes to hit 16 hours. At this point in time, may I call upon the union representative who has been nominated to speak? Union rep, please.
Or, in the interest of convenience, I can ask the boss to come and... forever. It doesn't matter.
Yes, but he's sitting with others for solidarity where he is.
And yes, we don't trust him very much.
Okay, so he can take the seat forever. Okay.
In the interest of time, because we have another briefing at 16, can we shift to the mics quickly? Focus your cameras on SG Buwala.
This was News on the Go, only on Diamond TV, television reinvented.
good food. That's what you want to prepare, isn't it? Well, how about great food? You know, the type that brings even the boys into the kitchen. Big Tree Indio Mix is the Indio Mix no one can resist. And that's a fact. All you need is to mix it with a bit of water and then add it to the final stage of your cooking. Big Tree Indio Mix blends with your food in such a unique way you won't believe. Big Tree Indio Mix makes this lovely thick gravy, supu, and in no time, you have a meal ready to eat. How's the food, boys?
Go! Big Tree Indio Mix, the mix no one can resist. Trade Kings, improving lives.
Form King boasts itself in being a leading foam manufacturer that has a significant contribution in providing quality guaranteed mattresses and other foam products. We are major suppliers to national institutions such as hospitals, schools, hotels, lodges, and other established wholesale and retail organizations. Form King utilizes only high-quality raw materials sourced from leading suppliers. Our high-quality fabrics are especially made and designed for each of our mattresses and bed ranges. With precision carpentry skills coupled with advanced tech machinery, we are able to meet all your needs. Visit our head office on plot 6300 Kabundi Road off Mumbwa Road. Email sales@formking.zm. Call us on +260 211 287652 or 286776. Visit our Ndola office on plot 3084 Nakambala Road. Email us at sales.ndl@formking.zm or call us on +260 212 651 130 or 650 158. Visit our website on www.formking.zm. Form King, our secret to a good night's sleep.
Yeah. That's how it is. It's our belief that the government has addressed all legal and contractual implications of the loans between the lending institutions and the members affected. The union further calls on the stakeholders not to politicize government good intention, but to work towards providing workable solutions. Our earnest appeal is that financial institutions but financial resources be made available to the earliest opportunity to ensure the success of this initiative. Members who will benefit from this initiative are advised not to start over-borrowing again. We wouldn't like to say, now the pay slip is clean, I'm coming again. Our appeal is that, please, let's go by what will be in the addendum. Let's go by what this gesture means, that we don't find ourselves into the same problems. Meanwhile, the unions commit themselves to spend resources together with the government to go on the ground and sensitize our members and work together. We appeal to every stakeholder to make sure that we accept this gesture with open hands, and wherever there is a question, we don't attack the good process. We know a lot have been said, but we believe a labor movement, this is not something which started yesterday. It started almost 3 years ago. For today, it's a day of great success, And we thank you so much. I rest the case. God bless.
Thank you, SG Newman Buvala. At this point in time, let me call on PS Timbali, who will guide us on the signing process. PS Timbali, sir. Signing process.
So for the benefit of the media, when you hear signing process, you heard of another name, the addendum. There's a collective agreement or collective agreements between the various sector unions and the government. So this development is part of the collective agreement. So it is coming as an addendum or additional document. So that is what is about to be signed, that addendum to update the collective agreements that were already signed.
Thank you. The chairperson, Madam Makoma, and ladies and gentlemen, for us as government and as PSNU, we are extremely glad to reach this point at which, for the first time in the history of this country, I think we have a declaring government that has listened to the plight of the civil servant. I don't want to repeat the principles which have already been explained in terms of I owe you, you owe me, or you owe the third party institutions, and what is going to happen. Just to emphasize what J.S. Uwala has said, please, to the civil servant, if you have to borrow for investment rather than consumption, do not go back into the debt trap. To our colleagues from Public Sector Union, congratulations to yourselves. I think this is a milestone. And let me take the first step to sign this addendum.
On behalf of the employer, the government.
Shall we proceed to... This is a very close signature.
Don't sign on our party.
Colleagues from the media, you heard DJ Makoma talk about 15 sector unions. So all those 15 unions will append their signature.
So GS Buvala, we pass on to the next signatory. So that
Let it go like that. Eh?
the next
MC, sorry, okay. I can be co-MC. And then since we are trying to manage time, can we allow the remaining signatories to sign later? In the meantime, we can allow maybe 2-3 questions from the media in case there are some points of clarification.
well guided peers. So we are only going to
As they are
allow
signing.
we are only going to allow 3 questions in the interest of time. So just put up your hand. You tell us the media house you are coming from, your name, and the media house that you are coming from. Please. Oh, it's very clear that we have no clarification. It is very clear. It appears there are no clarification.
Okay, if that is the case, then remember he extended an invitation in the interest of transparency that we go to DEC to look at the vehicles, and then from there we go to Honorable Kamsengo's house. Now, if there are those who are willing to do that, Can you do that now?
Are there any of the media houses that are willing, as guided by PS Malupenga, put up your hands?
If not,
PS, it appears none.
okay. Tomorrow? No, I wanted us to do it now because if we do it tomorrow, you accuse us of something else. That no, you moved them overnight. That story happened today, so I would rather deal with it today. Is there someone from the national broadcast? If the others are...
NBC?
Yeah, so we are trying to do this in the interest of transparency. If we do it tomorrow, the others may not even know that it is you. They will say, they moved him overnight. So me, I want to go to DC, from there to Honorable Campaign Board, and then from there I'll go to Minister of Health. I'll follow Malama to so with that, may I be allowed to,
Yes.
as you continue signing?
I can go. Yeah. Well supported.
This was News on the Go, only on Diamond TV, television reinvented. Ready? Good enough?
Absolutely devastating.
The fastest around at the moment. Watch Africa rise in the land of the rising sun.
Watch them dig deep.
First time in Olympic history.